Come on with it. The name. The Law Nation. And as this room fill up, be sure to hit the like, share this content, let friends, neighbors know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. This including the Ice Wall, baby. Come on with it. The name. It's Law Nation. On this beautiful, beautiful Saturday, Cowboys Jerry and Stephen Jones respond to Micah Parsons' comment on the future deal. Let's get it. I know there's football today, but we're going to do our football conversation that rules the nation. Come on, baby. Yup. Come on. They really say ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Saturday stream from my studios to yours? This day's episode is going to be brought to you by Mando. Come on with it. All right. Let's get it. Mama said there'll be days just like this.
What more do you want from me, Spartan? Prepare for glory.
Let me give me a one if the audio is straight. Give me a one if the audio is straight.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Let's get it. Come on, baby. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I try to keep the consistency level going. Try to give you guys a live show every day. Just a live show every day. I try to. At the end of the day, Cowboy Nation, the day go in, right? Shout out to Glorilla for that. Appreciate you. Pittman says the best intro on YouTube. Appreciate you, man. One of these days, I'm going to have some graphics and stuff in there, right? I just have a solid picture, and I'm literally I just have a solid picture up there while I'm controlling stuff on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and we're also on the TikTok app as long as they keep that up. And I'm literally just playing this in the background, right? And y'all say that, hey, man, that intro go hard, baby. Shoot. Can you imagine if it was like an actual intro? I'm just talking while I'm getting things uploaded. But, you know, for those who, it used to be like, hey, man, the intro too long. Hey, the intro is terrible. Or, hey, this and that. But behind the scenes, when you're doing live content behind the scenes and you're a one-man show, you got to turn this feature on, you got to turn that feature off, right? It's a whole process within the process of it, right? So that's why some people don't even go live at all. But to make a longer story short, I really appreciate y'all feedback on my intro. Every single show that I do is pretty much freestyle, and I really don't have like clip notes and stuff like that outside of the fact that the topic line, and then I let you guys do your thing, you know. That's why I got the comment section over here, you know. So, but neither here nor there. The Cowboys, Stephen Jones had something to say, and he went over a whole bunch of stuff. As it relates to that. Yeah, KC 14-10 right now. It's a game that's on. Appreciate y'all. Keep me updated with that. Shout out to you, Steven. You know, it's gold, and appreciate you, man. So I really appreciate everything. All right, so we're heading into a game that we have tomorrow, right? We do play tomorrow. We don't play a little later on tonight, do we? We play tomorrow, right? It's a game that we doing the evaluations of, do we bring certain players back? Do we look at the coaching staff? Do we really look at this as the extenuations of the preseason game for 2025 season, basically? It's just an early start, right? And then we look into a whole bunch of other things. And I would say this again, Cowboy Nation. I want us to still play hard. You know, I still want us to play rough and rugged. I still want us to make sure that Rico can continue to run the ball that he can. And there's still a 1% chance of the Cowboys making it to the postseason. Less than 1% chance, I meant to say. So that's where the old famous F the Eagles came from with Micah Parsons. Like, if you're a Cowboy fan today, you'll be definitely rooting for the Eagles to beat down Washington, right? But it's like this. We don't want Eagles to do us no favors. Y'all just do y'all. Y'all just do y'all, right? In Washington, y'all do y'all, right? We put our own self in this situation. Let me repeat. We put our own self in this situation. And that's the reality of it. Parsons' illness worries you just like the flu game. Yeah, he is under the weather. And just like I was laid out like Family Guy last week, I knew something was up, right, with this flu thing. I just caught it first. You know, I didn't pass it on to anyone. You know, I wasn't out there kissing babies. But just to speak on that, let me see if I got any clips of audio of it. I think that, you know, with them, they can go and get that IV fluid, you know, and just clean themselves out from that way. They got longer money than we do over here and longer resources, so their common colds and flus and stuff like that shouldn't last as long. But if the pandemic pointed out anything to us, that anybody can get got, right? So you want to make sure you do your regular checks and things of that nature. But let me see what we have here.
Stephen, the injury report just dropped. It looks like Micah is questionable with an illness, and then Jalen Brooks has been ruled out with a knee. Anything new you can share with us about those two?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Micah doesn't come around. I mean, you never know on these flu bugs, but he should be fine. And, you know, Jalen, on the other hand, he hyperextended his knee on the last play of practice, unfortunately, and, you know, probably looking at something there where probably can't go this week, but should be good to go after that. But, you know, the great news is with, you know, us, you know, having a good number of guys at the receiver position, we should be fine.
So that's Stephen Jones on the illness of Micah Parsons. He said he should be fine, right? You know, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. Actually, Law, JJ put us in this situation. Yeah, you know, Jerry Jones put us in this situation. Yeah. Law, Trey Lance, little brother, caught a touchdown pass today by Bryce Lance. Okay, to Bryce Lance. Okay, shout out to him. My thoughts and my complete notions of all of this is the Cowboys going into the situation that they are in. The season, the way it unfold, right? Thinking one end, and then you realize I didn't have the other parts of the solutions to this problem here. It goes all the way back to planning, right? You know, if the weatherman said that it's got 95% chance of raining, don't get mad at the fact that you took the 5% chance and say, well, it's not going to rain, and you out there and it's flooding all over your face, and you pretty much almost drown in the water because you didn't go get a poncho or a jacket, an umbrella and things like that. And that's exactly what happened with the Cowboys. We said that, hey, in the free agency period, you got to go out there and get some movements. You got to move this and that. And they refuse to do such because they have a principle and they have a philosophy already on table, and that's what we talked about as it relates to the money aspect. And this is one of the pieces of what they look for. Here we go. Listen to it from here.
Well, Jerry and I and Will were talking the other day, and, one of the things that, everybody was wanting to, give you a little pat on the back for is, the deals that we cut with Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. I mean, there we're getting, really high-end players for a low-end draft pick and, if you will, a bargain price for those type of players. Right. And we got them, for sub 10.
That boy said a bargain price for those type of players. This shouldn't even be a conversational piece. Getting Stephon Gilmore for 1 year and not winning a damn playoff game with that, you shouldn't even be bringing him up. Getting Cooks for 1 year, well, now he's here another year, and we haven't won anything from there, you shouldn't even be bringing him up. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And I heard the entirety of the interview. Shout out to Brian Broadus, but, he was leading the witness too. I like, hey, Brian, come on, man. He was throwing in some of those questionings of like, hey, what are you trying to do here, Brian? You know what I'm saying? Get right or get left says, what's good, nation? The Joneses, they destroyed this franchise and the morale of the fan base. To log for keep me sane during these times, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the $5 support, man. Yeah, they did, man. Yeah, I mean, appreciate you for your support, bro. Like, the Stephon Gilmore is no longer a good deal. He was only here for a year. It's no longer a good deal. It's a bad deal now. He's gone. Brandon Cooks is no longer a good deal. We ain't going to no postseason with him. A good deal would be you get a guy, right? You find a guy, and if it is a bargain deal or what have you, then you can have things to show for it. What can we show from Gilmore? What can we show Stephen Jones for Brandon Cooks now? Jeez,
When those guys might cost you, as you said, Brian, you were mentioning numbers, 15 to 20
right,
in a normal market. So, you have to look for things like that to, to sprinkle your roster with when you're wanting to pay your elite players. And we're fortunate. Well, Jerry and I...
Stephen, I hope you give me a little latitude on my question here, but I've all of a sudden kind of got interested in numbers and how it pertains to caps and stuff like that. And I just was curious because you guys are getting tremendous value from players that don't cost a lot on your cap. And I give you credit in the staff for credit for finding these guys. Is this an avenue that might be a better way for you guys to handle free agency when, you always talk about, people say, well, they're never active. Is this a plan that you guys have that you're using that, hey, listen, we could sign these guys and we're getting more value out of these signings and then maybe guys that are high priced free agents?
Let me ask this. Why Brian kissed him here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, you on 105.3 The Fan, but why would you kiss Stephen Jones here? Like, I wouldn't be giving him credit or talking about value and players and stuff like that you're getting. Like that's bullshit to me, man. Like, at the end of the day, I get it. You want to be able to be like, okay, we want to invite Stephen Jones back on the show, but why kiss him here? Why kiss him here? You know what I'm saying? Because at this time, this is insane. Well, we getting great value off of Brooks. We getting great value off of Jalen Tolbert. what's the point? You know, well, Jerry, where you at, dog? Where you at this point? where Jerry ever pull him up? Yeah.
What's your point?
Yeah.
Well, when you have to, Brian, and it's a great question, and it's obviously one that we go over, and we're obviously being questioned in terms of our strategy, but no question when you're looking down the barrel at signing Dak and CD and Micah, and you do have to draft and develop and really do your homework on players in terms of guys who might not be there at the top in terms of on the list to be paid. So yes, I mean that's certainly our strategy when you want to keep Dak, Micah, and CD around.
Stephen, I hope.
I don't know. Getting more great value, like at that point, I guess, don't want to beat you up right here, Jerry son, but do you think that your strategy of trying, like you could flip, it could be the same question, but you can flip it. Not to beat you up, Stephen Jones, but at this point, getting value out of guys of your own is not getting the results that is necessary in the postseason. That would have been a better strategy or a way. Have you considered, Stephen Jones, of changing up your philosophies and ways? That probably would have been a little bit more rocky for Stephen on that particular conversation. And I would have loved to see how he would have fought himself out of that particular action,
Hell, we fortunate enough to draft Dak Prescott, fortunate enough to draft CD Lamb, Micah Parsons, Diggs,
Osa Digizua.
Yeah. I mean, Osa.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously a guy who's coming up, and he's a guy we'd love to keep around. But you gotta hit on those guys. Hell, we fortunate enough to draft.
So, if you're fortunate enough, like this is the craziest thing. All right. So he said that we are fortunate enough to draft Dak Prescott. We are fortunate enough to draft a CeeDee Lamb. Wouldn't it be fortunate enough to agree to hit these guys up early so that they wouldn't have to fight for their money? If they are already your guys, and I know it's water under a bridge, right? The only person that's in lieu of right now or possibly getting paid early is Micah Parsons. Now, we will see how this will all drag out, right? But at the end of the day, we still, if you fortunate enough to draft Osa, and I said last season that it would have been better to go ahead and hit Osa up with one of those contracts because for dog sure, he wouldn't have been able to say, yeah, I'm turning it down. But now Osa can turn his head and say, you know what? I can go elsewhere. I can go to the highest bidder now. Yeah, I can go to the highest bidder now. So if you are fortunate to if you are fortunate enough to draft these guys, you should be fortunate enough to pay these guys earlier instead of waiting for the last years of their contract. That's contracting 101, and look, you don't have to take my word for it. You can say, well, Law, these are billionaires. There's the reason why you in your studio at your house, talking, and they somewhere on a yacht. But at the end of the day, I know contracting, and even on from a governmental level, state level, and as well as to the general public level and everyday level. So at the end of the day, they go against the ways that you're supposed to lay out a line for contracts. So that's just what I'm saying, But it is what it is.
Now, as you said, Brian, hats off to these guys, who are stepping up.
Yes,
young drafted players, the Hoffmans, the Lawsons, the guys like that step up and, play well. I mean, look at Schoonmaker. He's a guy who, maybe last year you said maybe you didn't hit on him, and now – he's playing well. I mean, Mozzie picked it up this year. I mean, you got these guys around who you think a lot of, and they step up. Sometimes it takes 1 year longer or 2 years longer, but ultimately you need them to step up. I mean, 3 of the top paid players in our league. You have to find not only the guys you draft, but you got to have some good luck in the college free, our priority free agency, which we call college free agency, but it's important. That's our second draft. And then, the other thing is finding, a guy like Chuma. Those guys are important. We found Hankins for a couple years. Those are important players that can step up. And then when you have, draft picks that really go out and play at a high level, and I know I'm talking about one that's on IR right now.
He could have crushed them and said, how? How did they step up? Name me the meaningful games that they were able to step up. What are the results of them stepping up? What are the results of Chuma? You know what I'm saying? Stepping up, Yeah, so come on, man.
Now, but, you get a guy like an Overshown who's, was quickly becoming one of the top players in this league defensively. And then you see a Maris step up, who we drafted in the mid rounds there. And, that's what you got to have happen when you decide that you're going to spend the type of money that we do on the top end of your roster, which is your top 3, 4, a Diggs, guys like.
Can you imagine drafting a player and they make a play? You say, oh, yeah, they stepped up. Dog, that's the reason why you drafted them. You drafted them to make plays, but you don't draft them and say, yeah, look at that play there. That justified for me not going here. You just don't do that. I'm just breaking down what he's saying and using his own words against him. Like that's the whole point. You drafted a guy so that he can make plays, not so that you can say he make one play and say that's the reason why.
Like that. Now we do have players like Zach Martin and. Obviously Tyron Smith will be rolled off this year. Zach Martin will roll off next year. DeMarcus Lawrence, who's been a great player for us. Some of his bigger money from his prime years are rolling off. Some of that cleans up, but you certainly have to have production from your drafted players and your priority free agents and your guys that you're looking for, vets that can step up and play well for you.
Yeah, and the reason I was bringing that up, Steve, because I look at the value of your players. Like Rico Dowdle's playing like a $12 million player. Carl Lawson playing like a $14 million player. Brock Hoffman playing like a $17 million player. These are all guys that you have that very, very manageable, and I just wondered if that was a strategy. And by the way you're saying it, yeah, it's part of. It's not completely keeping you from going after big free agents, but it's just something that, like I say, you just continue to lean on as you go forward.
My guy, it's my dog. That's Nate said there. That's Brian Broadus, man. And we're action there. Action. That's your boy. Yeah? LSU proud, man. That's boy. Boy, don't you know how much of a stroking of an ego that is to Stephen Jones? Oh my God. Don't you know how much a stroke on. That boy stroked the hell out of Stephen Jones there. Boy, he stroked Stephen Jones, boy. Yeah, God, no, boy. Let me rewind, boy. Come on, Brian. You working against the grain, dog. Come on, Brian. What happened? Watch this. Watch what he gonna say again.
Lawrence, who's been a great player for us. Some of his bigger money from his prime years are rolling off. Some of that cleans up, but you certainly
stroke to all amigos
from your drafted players and your priority free agents and your guys that you're looking for, vets that can step up and play well for you.
Watch this stroke.
And the reason I was bringing that up, Steve, because I look at the value of your players. Like Rico Dowdle's playing like a $12 million player. Carl Lawson playing like a $14 million player. Brock Hoffman playing like a $17 million player. These are all guys that you have that.
Brian, don't you know how far you done set us back? Because, see, now Stephen Jones going to be saying, see, I don't need. See, I told y'all I don't need Saquon Barkley. I told y'all I don't need a Derrick Henry. I got Rico Dowdle playing like a $12 million player. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Oh yeah. On top of that, hey, I don't need a true interior offensive lineman. I found Brock Hoffman, man. He playing like a $17 million player. And I told y'all we didn't need no Matthew Judon or we didn't need no Daniil Hunter because we got Carl Lawson, baby. I got him playing like an elite. I can't even say it. Edge rusher, baby. Come on. I got Carl Lawson in them. You know, according to Brian Brothers, look at this, baby. I told y'all, man. yeah. Hey, Stephen Jones gonna leave off of this interview like, yeah, dog, I'm telling y'all, look at me, man. Yeah.
And 4 vets that can step up and play well for you.
Yeah, and the reason I was bringing that up, Steve, because I look at the value of your players. Like Rico Dowdle's playing like a $12 million player. Carl Lawson playing like a $14 million player.
Against
Brock
who?
Hoffman playing like a $17 million player. These are all guys that you have that very, very manageable. And I just wondered if that was a strategy. And by the way, you're saying it, yeah, it's part of. It's not completely keeping you from going after big free agents, but it's just something that, like I say, you just continue to lean on as you go forward with your cap.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I don't have to go after big name players.
When you draft so well, one thing we've also talked about, and I wonder your experience with this, Stephen, is all these contracts seem like they come up at the same time. And Mike, I know, was talking this week about maybe not being the highest paid defender, but he also doesn't want to hold out. He wants to try and get that deal done. Do you look at that maybe and would wait on a deal to try and stagger these out a little bit, or is it still just beneficial to get ahead of these things?
No, if you get ahead of them, you want to get ahead of them. And hats off to Micah. And I've seen, like you guys have, some of the comments that he's made. He's certainly had conversations with Jerry and I, and that's what we want. We want guys who want to be here. And, I think this year more than ever, having the injuries we have, I think our top guys are feeling it that, you can't just have unlimited funds.
When you draft.
No one understands more how much urgency is on winning a championship and bringing another Super Bowl to our fans here in Dallas.
How, Sway? How? Jeez. Oh, my gosh, man. All right, man. All right. To be fair to everything, listening in to Stephen Jones talk about this documentary that is about to be out on Netflix. Now the joke keep joking, y'all. It's just what it is. Yeah. Like, you remember the analogy that I always give, like you can't get an apple pie with oranges, right? You can't be in the orange aisle saying, hey, I'm finna make this damn good apple pie, right? You got to be in the area where you trying to get the apple pie. That's the equivalency of you can't come out here to say to yourself, this team is designed well equipped enough to win the Super Bowl. When you playing musical chairs with your running backs, right? 1 week is Rico, the next week is Tiny Deuce Vaughn, the other week is Ezekiel Elliott. And then you trying to do things that's never been done before and say, hey, we going to do it. We're going to hold out. We're going to pay Dak Prescott this contract 5 seconds before kickoff. And he's going to be the highest paid quarterback. And then we're going to have our wide receiver to sit out all year to pretty much we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. You didn't put yourself in position. And when you don't put yourself in position, you can't complain about not being in position, basically. We literally think that we was going to the Super Bowl with Bland out, Trayvon Diggs coming back from an ACL surgery, right? And he's supposed to be this guy that's supposed to pick things right up. We're going to have a backup DB starting who we drafted from the 5th round as our DB guy. And we was going to pick up these type of situations, whereas we drafted a Marshawn Nealon, and he was going to fill in the shoes of Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, and Sam Williams. No one brought those things up. Like, this supposed to been like the year, right? We all in. And I'm not being a Debbie Downer, but I'm just telling y'all the truth. And somebody gonna say, yeah, well, you using excuses, to fit your validated point. No, validation is only good for parking. What I'm saying is the expectations still would be, we're gonna look, the Cowboys can tomorrow. Breaking news, the Cowboys signed Law Nation as the next defensive back player on this team. You know what I'm saying? I will have the most views that week. People, ESPN, 3-letter, 4-letter, 5-letter networks will be talking about Law Nation Sports, playing DB. The reclaim the fame, a 40-year-old man out there is going to be filling in the shoes of Trayvon Diggs. The expectation will not change. The expectation still will be, hey, the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. That's the equivalency of what the Cowboys do every year, But it's crazy. But listening in to Stephen Jones talk about the legacy and the reason why, it's important for his dad to have this Netflix documentary also brings in the human element. The human element is this right here, ladies and gentlemen, that the Jerry Jones time is damn near gone. That's how I picked up this conversation here. Listen to him. Listen to what he said.
At the end of the day, it's a big focus on Jerry and what he's done. As a entrepreneur, as a obviously a Hall of Fame owner, and his journey. But what fires me up the most is we're going to have something here documented, not only on what our fans will see, but on the hundreds of hours of taping that our family will have, my kids will have, Charlotte's kids will have, Jerry's kids, their kids will have documented about, Jerry and Senior's journey and what he's done, for business, what he's done for the NFL, what he's done for the game of football. I think people are going to really be intrigued by, and these guys are amazing at what they do. So I'll be very surprised if this isn't something that people are really going to enjoy.
So that's Stephen Jones on his dad's Netflix documentary. To me, it sounds as if though it's deeper than just that, because in actuality, I'm gonna pull the bull out, but put the bull away. It's bigger than winning football games. From my thoughts of it, from this particular picture, it's bigger than winning football games. It could be a telltale sign that the end is almost near. Right? Just by listening, like I want y'all to listen to this one more time as if though it's like reading a live obituary. Listen to it one more time.
At the end of the day, it's a big focus on Jerry and what he's done. As a entrepreneur, as a obviously a Hall of Fame owner, and his journey. But what fires me up the most is we're going to have something here documented, not only on what our fans will see, but on the hundreds of hours of taping that our family will have, my kids will have, Charlotte's kids will have, Jerry's kids, their kids will have documented about, Jerry and Senior's journey. And
Man, that sounds like an obituary. And I'm not. Well, all jokes aside, though, just being real, just listening in to him talk. Those are things that, like, conversations that I had, with my brethrens, and when it was time for a loved one to pass away, like, think of the memories, think of, like, all of the good things that they done went through, and think of the things that they're gonna leave behind for their offsprings and beyond. So when you listen to it in that factor, the human element of it, always will bring this up to the point. Whereas I know we all fed up with Jerry, but at the end of the day, when it's time for him to catch that cloud and taste that dirt, there probably won't be a dry eye in the building, right? Everybody gonna be kind of like hurt behind this, but listen to it.
what he's done, for business, what he's done for the NFL, what he's done for the game of football. I think people are going to really be intrigued by, and these guys are amazing at what they do. So I'll be very surprised if this isn't something that people are really going to enjoy.
Yeah. A live obituary. You know what I'm saying? Lord, we got Jerry Jones' phone number on his phone. Now, I don't have Jerry Jones' number on my phone, man. But Jerry, let me hold about $100, man. but neither here nor there. Those are the ways that I'm looking at it from that particular perspective. And sometimes, when you're in this situation and things don't smell right and you trying to take control of the situation, right? You just can't put stuff over it and expect it to smell clean, right? You got to wash it all the way through. And for those who've been around this channel for a while, you already know where I'm going. You got to be able to. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it.
Let's go, man! Let's go!
Yeah, so hey, put that Mando on. It will take care of you. Shout out to you all. That segment was brought to you by Mando, and that's full control, and that's full body control, by the way, So just don't try to put it on while you're still musty and dirty. Wash off. And then put the Mando cream on. That invisible cream. That's a wild way to say it. That invisible cream really do works though. And it's up to 72 hours. But don't try to take advantages of all 72 hours though. Make sure you wash it off before you put it on. And come on with it. Yeah. So come on with it, Cowboy Nation. Yeah, we are live with it. So with that being said, the Dallas Cowboys heading into this is a situation where we still trying to make the best of it with the Micah Parsons saying that he's willing to take less. I got one of my dogs, man, here. He's going to go over a few things too. Can't wait to go over these things with you guys. Let me play this right quick, man. Shout out to my guy, Jay Tuck. Let's listen to him right quick.
And maybe could we make that, I don't know, not 4 years, maybe 6 years, because here in Dallas, we like to sign long-term deals.
Long.
Right? Now let's say Micah says 30. Oh, hell no. I gave y'all a pay cut at 35, right? But now y'all trying to do me 30 and stretch out the numbers? Oh, we're not doing that, right? Let's say that that's the case. Now Micah walks into a situation where, well, Micah said he didn't want to make the highest. We offered Micah a contract offer, but he didn't accept it. Oh, now we spun it. Oh, now we spun that leverage, Micah, because you said that you want to take a pay cut. You said that you want to build a team around you, right? Well, your little 10% deduction, we don't want the 10%, we want the 20. Right? So now, if there's a standstill and that deal doesn't get done early, all right, well, we came to some numbers, right? We thought we had Micah where we liked him, but we didn't get the deal done in time, right? But we still have this summer. We're confident we're going to get Micah signed before the season starts, right? Now what happens? All these people on Twitter, we didn't get no free agents because of Micah. Micah said that he was going to cut us a deal. We didn't get no free agents. We didn't get no free agents because of Micah. Oh, see, try to be nice, but you gave them the leverage, right? Micah's deal's holding up everything. That's why we wasn't able to go get a wide receiver. There was a free agent that was affordable, but we couldn't go get them because Micah didn't get the early deal done. Cool. All right. Now let's say things are kind of dragging out a little bit. And we get to Oxnard, and they're still offering Micah the 30. No conversations. Jerry and Stephen went on a boat trip. You know how they mysteriously just vanish every summer, all season. They just go vanish and get away. No deal done. No conversations with David Mujeta. No forward movement. Now we're getting to Oxnard, and Micah says, "I'm not taking that 30. I said I would take 35, but I'm not taking that 30 though." Micah misses camp. What? Micah misses camp? Well, you told us you were going to be a leader and show up in camp and not do a holdout and not do this. Now who does that make look bad? Micah. It makes Micah look bad. If you hold out, you're going against your word. You see what I'm saying? You're going against your word. But the Cowboys can sit back and play victim because the Cowboys do not have to expose the numbers. They can spitball you a low ball offer, and if you don't take it, you are going to look bad in the media until you fold and cave. Because you just did a little too much, my dog. Here's how you handle it, Micah. Hey, when it comes to contract talk, I want to be a Cowboy for life. This is what I hired David Mujeta for. He's one of the best agents. I am going to let him handle it. I'm going to let him handle it. Next podcast segment. But you got talking. You got talking. And then what happened, y'all? What happened to
My guy's right on the money with it. It hit me. The other way that this can all work for the agent, for Micah, and for the fans, and for Jerry and Stephen. The only way that this would really work, because Micah did spoke out and said that he's willing to do these type of things. Put the butter knife down. Put the butter knife down. Give Micah Parsons a Pat Mahomes contract. Give Micah Parsons a Pat Mahomes contract. give Micah Parsons a Pat Mahomes contract. I had to do my Dr. Umar impressions, you know. The reason why I say that, it'll be a contract that's damn near 8 to 10 years. The agent can be hot for a second, right? But the only problem will be is that the risk factor will fall back on the boys, but they get a long-term discount. Or technically, the Pat Mahomes contract was technically the Tyron Smith contract, right? See, nothing new under the sun. So that's what the Cowboys would have to do ultimately with a Micah Parsons. Give him that long contract, whereas it would solidify a whole bunch of things. He's walking around banging the table talking about Cowboys for life. It would show that. It would show also the fact that he's not going anywhere, value added. You know, he's generationally talented. He's going to be here, and boom. This will resolve all of the stuff of what Jay Tuck just said. And on top of that, it will resolve all of the stuff what we were saying. The reason why Pat Mahomes' contract is such a valuable one and good one is because right now you got over 10 players, I believe, now in the National Football League that's making a hell of a lot more money than Pat Mahomes, right? And trust me, they are not Pat Mahomes, right? But when he first came out, people looking at it like, wow. But that's the ultimate belief system that the Chiefs put upon their particular star-studded player, right? There's no rubbernecking there, right? And the reason why the Tyron Smith contract worked for us for all of those years because it was such a long one, but the only problem was Tyron Smith stayed hurt, right? And it goes both ways. It also showed you guys that the fan base really stopped caring about how much money Tyron Smith was saving the Cowboys, but he went to the natural fan factor that results are all the things that, or the only thing that matter, because a lot of people were saying that Tyron Smith, he's washed, he's always hurt, he's not worth X, Y, and Z, although if you really do your research, he was getting paid dog food, dog water, and he's probably still not even respected here as he should be, even on his way out, right? But give him one of those contracts, and then we'll be done with it, right? There'll be no more talking about Micah Parsons and his situation and his and of course his issues. What's going on with the game, man? You know, y'all into that game, huh? Let me see what's going on with that game. Let me see. Okay, it's a tight game right here. Come on, Texans. Somebody just scored, didn't it? C.J. Stroud to Tank Dell for 30 yards. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Full box score. He have 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs. Okay. Pat Mahomes is 13 for 23, 127 yards. Okay. Hollywood Brown is activated. Okay, so is the game any good? I'm not even watching the game. Yeah. Tank Dell got hurt. He caught the touchdown, but he got hurt. Yeah. Oh wow. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. I know you guys into this into the game. Hold on.
As long as I'm part of man, it just says, like I said, we're not going to give up. As long as I'm part of this unit, as long as we believe in each other, at the end of the day, I could look to my left and know I could count on them. We fighting for each other, you know. There's still a lot of football to be played, and, you know, we fighting for each other at this point. At the end of the day, like, you know, it's a special feeling when you can fight for each other.
So he said they fighting for each other, so y'all watch out, man. Yeah, gruesome leg injury. Yeah. Looks like Kansas City will win by 1. I feel you on that. All right, so before we go any further into this situation here, Just know that if you've been following along with even our Underdog Fantasy groove, you can still check out the percentages here. And we had Pat Mahomes going with more than 238. I think that I should have went with lower because he only got 126. So, and it's refreshing. They give you live analysis while this is going on here. And on top of that, when you use promo code LAW, you can get up to $1,000 in cash bonus or bonus cash, whichever way you want to say it. And when you download, please be sure to use LAW, Underdog Fantasy, and you can play right along with us with higher or lower. And on top of that, they just don't have NFL; they have NBA as well, NHL. They have them all over here. So be sure to check out even LeBron James and all of that good stuff here in the Dallas market, as well as everything else when you're dealing with Law Nation Sports. Come on with it. I got this right here that we're going to just try to go through real quickly since the game is on, and I know that you guys are all into that game over there. All right, so let me go ahead and do a quick mock draft, and we get things moving from here. All right, so appreciate y'all so much. Let's go with. Let me see. Let's go and hit play right quick. Let's see what we got right here. We'll see what we got on this mock draft. We're gonna reject all trades. Let's see what we got. On the board, it goes just like that. We got Tet. We got Ashton Genty. I'm not even going to look at Kelvin Banks. Can you imagine this same scenario? With the 14th pick, you got the opportunity to draft Tet, Calvin Banks, and Ashton Genty. And all of a sudden, you hear this right here. You hear this right here. With the 14th pick of the NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Kelvin Banks, University of Texas. Hook 'em, Longhorn. Oh, shit. Just dropped them. Shit. Hey, but in words of Law Nation, with the 14th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Tet McMillan. All right, let's see with the 45th pick, man, what we gonna go with. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Oh my gosh, look, they trying to give me the world, baby girl. All right, so with the 45th pick, now I'm looking for my running back. Oh, Trey Harris there, though, y'all. Trey Harris there. All right, let me go look at my running backs, man. Appreciate y'all so much. Oh, that's who I'm going with right now, you know. Yeah, I'm going with Junkins, baby. I was playing Ohio State. What I'm going with my second pick. Oh, my gosh. Omarion, baby. Yeah. And they gave me an A+ and an A. But so with that being said, that's what I have. My draft is completed. Let me know. Grade my draft. Y'all. You know what I'm saying? Now, I could have went with Ashton Genty, and I could have went and got Trey in the second. But let me tell y'all how my team is looking. Close your eyes and imagine. Yeah, no. Close your eyes and imagine. I got CeeDee Lamb operating on one side. I got Tet on the other side. I still have Kevontae Turpin as one of my guys that I can put in on this particular wide receiver situation. I still can go get Ryan Flo to move in and out. You know the Cowboys, we like our guys. Of course, they still will have Jalen Tolbert there or Jonathan Mingo. You know, they still may have Mingo there. But I can still call Rico back for a cup of coffee, and I can still have Amarion and Rico administrations. You know, I think that my backfield is okay. I still have 40 ounce. My offensive line can still be gritty, nasty, or what have you. But I got a 6'5" guy that I got on the outside and the boundary side. That he's going to be forced 1-on-1. If not, let them try to roll coverage and take CD out with 2. I think that my guy Tech can win his 1-on-1s. Yeah, it's 6'5". Yeah. My offense is good now, man. You know? Yeah. And then Brevin Span forward. Next season gonna be even more better, right? So I got some weapons, man. Still got Schoon, still got Ferd. Yeah, my offense looking good. Yeah, I'd rather have Ollie to be used to use the bad offensive line. Ollie Gordon dropping, though, by the way. I think that you can probably squeeze Ollie Gordon in the third, believe it or not. And by the time the draft come around, like everything, Ollie Gordon may go all the way to the 4th round. They got some kids, man, in this draft. When you start to look through some stuff, and I like Ollie Gordon. You know, I'm not saying that he trashed or anything, baby. You know what I'm saying? But when you start to look at this thing and really combing through some of these draft players that's going to be drafted, you see Ollie. Yeah, you see Ollie probably fall a little bit. You know, I'm just putting it out there. Not saying that he will, but, you know, it could be a situation that he falls a little bit and don't be surprised, you know. And it happens all the time. You know, it's not like I'm saying that that's going to be the finite thing that really happens, but it could literally be just that way. Let me see. Hold on. Bear with me. Let me pull this up right quick. Bear with me. You know, give me 1 second here. Let me ask you this. Well, y'all, I'm gonna do this right quick. Scatterboo, all right, for Scatterboo and Ollie Gordon. Is Ollie Gordon better than Genty? Yes or no? Is Ollie Gordon better than Hampton? Is Ollie Gordon better than Caleb Johnson? Is Ollie Gordon better than Judkins or the Ohio State boys? Is he better than that kid from Tennessee, Sampson? I'm not going to take him over the Sampson kid, the Dylan Sampson. Is he better than Tutton over there in Virginia? DJ Giddens. Look up DJ Giddens. I'm telling you, man. Jarquez Hunter. Is Ollie Gordon better than him? If you can look up the Rutgers kid, Kyle, I won't call him what's that guy's name? Kyle Mango. How do you say that man's name? You got to put Ollie Gordon somewhere around there. In Scatterboo, you got to put him behind probably Devin Neals, the Trevor Etienne, the kid from Georgia, you know. So it's going to be that right there. Le'Veon Mouse, you know, R.J. Harvey and all of those boys. So Scatterboo, you can get Scatterboo in the later rounds is all I'm saying. Trick says, please, no Tet in the first round. Let me know, did you watch Tricks? Did you watch Tet tape and what you didn't like about it? Let me know what you didn't like about his tape, and then let me know what kind of caliber of person you are. I just want to know what you didn't like about him. Law, should we double dip and get Scat and Boo in round 6? Shoot, yeah, shoot. Yeah, get Scat and Boo in the later rounds. Because what you got to do here is you got to make up for your mistake on drafting Deuce Vaughn if he can't get out there on the field. or you have to do the real truths and just go ahead and cut Deuce Vaughn. But we're going to get on up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man, so much for tuning in. I'm going to let you guys get back to your families and loved ones, man. And I appreciate y'all so much for your support. Cowboy Nation, stand tall or not at all. Be sure to watch the football game and these sorts of things. And we'll see y'all a little later on tomorrow. Come on, just get on up out of here, Cowboy Nation. And one love, DC for life, not for short. But if there's one thing a man should always do, is mainly to himself stay true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring or mean makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices only turn those hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was brother, I'll ride with brother, roll with brothers. The morals of life: live, love, and respect for another. Then, there are those who will try to be smart. They would take the decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those, man, you should never call a friend, because they bend the lies around the truth until they meet their end. Cowboy Nation and everyone that's listening, stand tall or not at all. And when the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. And time has rewind to these places of our hearts. We stand with it, we grind with it, we motivated by it, we live by it, we die by it, but ultimately we grow by it. In these words of Law Nations, I hope that it marinates in your hearts, souls, and minds, and that we all can rewind to this very much place to say, hey, DC for life, not for short. We about. Let's get it. In the words of Playmaker, the way he said,
let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
And come on, Prime.
Give me my thing, you.
Yeah. All I wanna do is run it up, baby. One love, baby. And shout out to Mendo.
I've been really in the field, let it rush, I let it feel lately. I just wanna run it.
Make sure you wash before you apply. Shout out to you, Gina.
What more do you want from me?
Kinda check this out.
Good, I see ya. Appreciate you.
Count that too, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives.
The money.
Tens, I need that change to the safe. Got blues inside.